Hi, there's Life Prep here, and I'm doing another one of my viewer response. This one here is from First Sergeant Fluffy, excuse me. He was in the Vietnam War and stuff, and he did there's two separate responses here. One of them he did talk about living out of the backpacks getting harder. Another one he did on commenting on about the homeless, the missing in camp. Now, these people leave a lot of great responses. I get some negative ones. Some people just really flat out tell me what they think, or I get a lot of trolls on there that just does some stupid stuff. But the thing is, I think it's important to share what these people feel and think. I've tried to ask people when I can. Now, some of them I know they don't care. I did ask a couple and made sure I got permission on it before I did it. Once they put the comments public, I can pretty well list them if I want to. But I like to try to ask if I can. But this one here is First Sergeant Fluffy. And so now, this one here, the first part one is where he was talking about out of the backpack. He says, I watch Flat Broke outside videos on YouTube. He teaches hiking at the AT, and that's the Appalachian Trail, of 14 states. By the way, I am in training today to walk the 2,116 miles of the Appalachian Trail. Oh, I want to do that so bad. I really would love to do it. I doubt I could keep up with him, but I'm really bullheaded and stubborn. I probably would make the 2,000 and something trails. If we talk about bug out bags and its contents in many videos, have subscribers ever walked with a backpack? Now, the thing is, many of them talks about it, but they've never actually loaded their backpack or actually done any walking with it to see how much. I put mine on, I walked with it and tried it. And I said, boy, this is kind of awkward on the way. I need to readjust my weight on this here and readjust by doing some fanny packs or pack in front. I need to distribute and equalize my weight out more in case of a backpack. Another thing I felt also in my case is that it's important to have a side pack like the pack in front, to have some things separate in case something happens and you lose your backpack in a situation. Now, but that's my opinion. Now, right now I don't have all the equipment I need. I would love to have all the equipment, but it costs us money and my money is really limited. But nevertheless, I've got the semi-knowledge to figure out how to make things on my own without having to do a lot of spending money. But the thing is, he's talking about here, another video is Outdoor Adventures, which he brings good videos of hiking, and you can follow him on the trail at 65. Get this, 65. I walk each day. Yesterday was 8 miles with a 40-pound pack. Imagine this was my bug out. He's imagined this is his bug out, and he walks with it to see how it does. Wow, after 5 miles, you feel the weight and strain on your legs and ankles. That's why I was talking about you may want to consider maybe having a belt and fix up some bags on the side to maybe even the weight out a little bit more for you. If, like my case, I do not have the strongest of backs because I'm injured so much. So yes, thinking on other options is good on it. But what he's doing is right. Okay, so 2 vehicles stopped to ask me if I needed a ride. Guess they felt I was a homeless guy. I was wearing my army pants, army wool hat, and army backpack. They were nice since I was walking in the country headed towards local small town. It would be hard living out of a backpack. And this is a good video. And it is hard living out of a backpack. My son's been living out of a backpack for years. And that's his choice of life. It's not easy. But the fact is you can do it if that's something you have to do, but you have to think about what you're going to have in there. One of the things too is you see someone like, okay, I've got all this stuff. You have to think about a bladder or canteen for water. I gave my son my 2-gallon canteen container. I gave him a lot of my supplies I had to help him out. Does he still have them? I don't know. But I gave him a lot of my survival equipment so he could survive. And chances are he don't have it no more. So I don't need to replace all these things. I just don't have the funds at this time to replace it. So So it's a lot to think about what you're going to have in your backpack, and also getting used to it. If you think about going for 6 months on a trail or something else, you need to get in shape for it some. You need to make sure you got enough medical supplies if you got high blood pressure or whatever, and check with your doctor on it and see about your subscriptions and everything, and make certain it lasts for a certain length of time, whatever. But he's right on the spot with it. You do need to do some training with it. Now, the second one he did was talking about the homeless. I did the homeless missing in camp. His brother's been living like his lifestyle for years, so I relate to him what he's understanding. First Sergeant Fluffy talked about, my brother lives free campsite to free campsite, and there is camps out there. I drove down 2 weeks ago to camp with him and see him after 15 years. It's been 15 years since he's seen his brother. He is staying at Pigpen Campground near Lake City, Florida. Ocean Pond is a very nice place. Ocean Pond Campgrounds near Pigpen Campground is part of the National Forest up there. And I suck at pronouncing the word, but it's called Osceola. I'm dyslexic, so I also see words different than other people. So sometimes I just spell it out. My brother has medical issues at his age of 60. I am 65 and the oldest of 5 siblings. I am in better shape than all of my siblings. When there, I met Janice at age 64, a ex-hospice nurse. Ain't that something? She's 64. She used to be a hospice nurse, and she's living like this lifestyle. She is sleeping in her car and has a dog. I sat down with her for 3 days and listened to her life and hard times. I provided some food for her and dog food for her dog. She is traveling west, free campsites, and now in Houston, Texas. She is emailing me to keep in touch. It means a lot to her. Another is Ray, who is an Army vet on disability. Minimum money each month. Remember I was telling you, not all of them strung out on drugs. Not all of them's alcoholics. A lot of them ends up in these places for many different reasons. He was fired after the owner of the apartment complex died. He was a maintenance technician for decades. No pension from that. No car, but travels on a bike. I didn't say if it was a bicycle or a motorcycle bike. So I'm assuming it's a bicycle. A lot of them do travel on bicycles. He slept in Jacksonville streets, and he hears stories of drug dealers and evil people is crazy. He is very skittish and has mental problems. Don't trust anyone. I listened to him and took him to lunch and dinner. He would come over and have coffee at 4 a.m. and sit by the campfire. When I left to go home, my brother said he cut up his Walmart tent and left. This poor guy has some problems and needs help. And saying, thanks for reading. Now, I asked him, could I do this? He says, be my guest. There are many homeless Americans that fell into hard times in these free campsites that the National Park Service manages. You can check on Amazon books on free campsites, which are large. They consider free if they are under $12, but many are free like hog pen campgrounds in that national forest. Janice, who I met, has been emailed by me on her travels. So I'm telling you, most people have preconceived notion that all homeless people are just riff-raff and no good. My son chose to walk away. My son chose the life he chose. He has 3 children he don't see. He chose that lifestyle, but he has a lot of problems as well. But most of them that winds up on the streets is due to limited income, due to mental issues, due to being in the military and they got the post syndrome. It's just countless lists of things. In the state of Tennessee, where I'm from, they released a lot of the mental patients to cut down on costs. A lot of them ended up living on the streets because they had nowhere to go. And, of course, by doing that, also, a lot of them would not keep up with their medications. So they did not stay on their medications. A lot of them didn't stay on it because, and if they did go get it, it just got stolen. So it's a hard situation on it. the sad thing is a lot of them are living this lifestyle because their income don't allow for it. My income is so limited, and I struggle each month to survive and just pray to get through each month. But so far right now, I manage it. But does it mean I can keep doing it? Not necessarily. It's hard to do. I need me a camper or a small RV like truck. I need one. I really need one bad. I just don't have the money to buy it. I need the RV camper so I can, for about 4 or 5 months next summer, be able to live up north more and travel some. I want to get out more. So it's understandable on these people who have the limited incomes and stuff like that, and they're living out of their backpacks, they're living out of their tents, and hearing the stories on them. I knew one guy used to be a chef, and he went from being a chef in California in a high-end restaurant to living on the streets to stealing what he could steal just to make a little bit of money. He became an alcoholic and he became a gruggy because he wasn't like that to begin with. But sometimes they turn to that just to try to forget. It's sad on that thing. So this here is a comment from First Sergeant Fluffy, and I agree with him. I mean, it's sad. I don't give money to any of the homeless. I will buy them food. I will give them some supplies because I don't want to contribute to their addiction. I really don't. I don't want to give them $5 and they go buy some beer or whiskey or whatever to get drunk with. I want to give them supplies, so I don't give them food. I broke from that habit a long time ago. So it's sad. I mean, I would love to be able to have a camper or a RV, small RV to live in. Want to give up the place I have. It's costing me so much on taxes and everything. I can't really afford it, and something's going to give. So for me, living like that and be able to travel and enjoy myself and do the videos and enjoy nature is very important. So I feel for these people. They really do have a hard time. Many of them there by no choice. Many of them there put themselves there for whatever reason. So this is Live Prayer here. I want you to be safe, be happy. Bless you all, and thanks, First Sergeant.